I knew Coach Kapral for nearly 62 years, beginning in 1958, when he was my wrestling coach at the United States Coast Guard Academy. And shortly before his death in 2020, Coach Kapral Academy teams won 75% of their matches. Here is a photo of a 1962 scoreboard with a 9-1 season record. The only loss was to the United States Naval Academy, a school more than 4 times larger than the Coast Guard Academy. But Coach Kapral was more than a coach. He schooled us in wrestling rules and rules. He was an organizer, an author, and a community leader. Coach Kapral also taught us the art and science of coaching when he established at our academy a small fry wrestling program. In the program, we college-age wrestlers introduced local area youngsters in the fundamentals of wrestling. In doing so, we learned the need as a coach to be supportive, patient, observant, and respectful. Here is a photo of the youngest of the small fries, Coach's son, Greg, with me. My hard book library contains a book, a 276-page book, authorized by Coach Kapral, Coach's illustrated guide to championship wrestling, a widely known and referred to book in the late 1960s and the 70s. The book contains hundreds of photos, together with detailed explanations illustrating the art and science of wrestling. Coach Kapral was an enthusiast, a person of ardent zeal. He taught us how to go on in life. To be successful, he would say, we should develop 3 bones. 1, a wishbone for our dreams and ambitions. 2, a backbone for perseverance and strength. And 3, a funny bone, so you don't take yourself so seriously that you don't enjoy life. Guidelines for life that I passed on to my grandchildren.
So it was my privilege to meet Frank Kapral very early in my Coast Guard career. In fact, it was the summer of 1970 when I was a swab at the Coast Guard Academy. I had just entered. I would say I had the privilege of knowing him as an instructor, a teacher, a coach, a Coast Guard officer, a member of the Academy staff, then a father-in-law, a grandfather, and a fellow Coast Guard officer. It's a pretty broad spectrum of relationships that I had with Frank Kapral. It was with a great deal of pride, admiration, and humility that I had Frank Kapral as a father-in-law and as a fellow officer. He is an iconic figure for many people who went through the Coast Guard Academy. There are a lot of people that owe Frank Kapral for teaching them basic lessons of life, morality, religion, work habits, etc. And I am one of those people who have benefited from knowing him.
I was recruited out of King's College in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania in 1972. And I was brought here to resurrect the wrestling program at Fitch. And when I started the program, he helped me a lot. He offered me advice. We didn't have a mat the first year, for example. We had to tie mats together, and then we went from there. He became my mentor, not only as a coach, but as an official. In a coaching aspect, when I needed something done, I was a rookie, obviously, weight certification, rules, interpretations, I called him, and he always had time for me. He even had me to his office. I met Otto Graham with him. I sat around with Otto Graham, which was a great thrill for me. He was a man of great character. he did things that nobody else around here did. He started the Pee Wee program back in the 60s, which obviously I was unaware of because I wasn't here. But I know guys like Billy Petsiga and the Sadai brothers and the like, they all participated in that, and that's where they learned to wrestle. Another thing that I thought was really inspirational of him, after the matches, especially at Fitch, I don't know if he did it elsewhere, but because of my fans were new to the game and a whole lot of them never saw wrestling before, he would literally hold an interpretation clinic after the meet was over. And he'd spend 15, 20 minutes and, we'd have people have questions about what happened in this call or that call. And I mean, nobody did that kind of stuff. I say it this way, if I'm in the Hall of Fame, Frank Kapral should be in the Hall of Fame. We wanted to nominate Frank some time ago, but he sort of didn't want to do it. And for whatever reason, we respected that. What he did for me was tremendous, but what he did for the whole sport of wrestling here, nobody could be on the same level as what he did. I mean, sure, we had Rod Leland, we had Glenn Rupert and the like that were early coaches down here. And I felt that because of all he accomplished as an official, as a coach, as a promoter of wrestling, he deserved to be nominated. And thankfully he was accepted, and we're here to honor him tonight.